Taking a moment here to just come down onto our backs. Again, if it feels good to you to elevate the thoracic spine, to lift the heart space, feel free to put a bolster or a block underneath the shoulder blades, support the head so that the neck is very comfortable. And this morning, any leg position that is good for you. I think I'm going to take constructive rest, where my knees rest on each other, because it offers my low back some room to spread and to relax. Belly is soft. Close down the eyes and welcome your day. Welcome this beautiful day in this beautiful body on this beautiful mat for our yoga practice. And just one thought of gratitude, just something that brings a smile to your face, a lightness to your heart. And maybe today throughout practice, you keep that image, that vision in your mind's eye. We all have something to be grateful for. Drawing in a few breaths, just relax the body. Allow the breath to flow naturally here, in through the nose, through the chest, to the ribs, to the belly. And then exhaling from the belly, the ribs, the chest, back out the nose. So let the breath fill you, the prana fill you, and let the exhales touch every part of you that might have a little bit of tension, and allow that to soften the body, the mind, and the spirit. Our true yoga practice. Taking a couple more rounds of breath. And then whatever position your legs are in, just heel toe the feet so they're at center. Draw the knees over to one side and just make your way over to all fours. So if you need to pad out the knees, roll out that towel or blanket. As you arrive in your all fours, stacking through your joints, gather your belly in to help support the nice straight spine. We'll just open here with a couple cat-cows. Mindful cat-cows, right? So as you lift that tailbone and lift the heart space, sinking the belly, a nice arch in the spine, a nice stretch through the front body. And as you exhale the breath out, you press into the palms and just tailbone tucks in and the chin tucks in and stretch between the shoulder blades and down the spine. So moving in any way, traditional cat-cow or wagging the tail or sinking back and front. Just find some movement here to open up all the little muscles that reside along the spine. And to wake up all those little energy centers that we know rest along the spine. A couple more. And then we're going to bring the big toe mounds together and let the knees go wide, not as wide as we did for our hips and hammies yesterday, but wide enough so that as you come down to an extended child's pose, the body can rest between the thighs. Maybe the chest and the forehead come a little bit closer to the mat. Beginning to feel that stretch through the spine, tailbone, all the way to the crown of the head. As you crawl the fingertips forward just a bit, Allow the chest and the soft tissue under the arms to relax and release. Find a full breath into the back body, flaring those back ribs using the back of the lungs that holds 64%, actually, I just read, of our lung capacity. And how often do we actually breathe into that lung capacity, right? Normally just shallow breathing, but pay attention to the breath now and just let it fill the whole back body. Drawing one more inhale, maybe the belly comes in a little bit further. Just walk the hands over to the right, taking a nice side stretch. So that left fingers are going to go on a diagonal. Feel the stretch from the left hip bone through the side ribs, down the arm. You can stack that left hand over the right. You can bring fingertips to the side of the right leg. Press the fingertips in and help to rotate your chest open. That's a little bit deeper. So just feel into the side body and take the stretch that you need this morning. One more breath here. Exhale slow, see where you can release. And on the inhale, we'll take it right back to the center. Again, see how far you can stretch through those fingertips. And then take it over to the left on the exhale, reaching the right fingertips further away on a diagonal, sinking down, the chest coming towards that left thigh. Again, you can stack the right palm on top of the left. You can bring those left fingertips outside the thighs and press into the fingertips to help rotate the chest open a little bit more to the left. Wherever you are, use your breath to settle in. Lots of space created now on the right side body. And then draw yourself back to center one last time. One more full stretch here. See if there's any more room to come down. And then slide those hands back underneath the shoulders. Press your way back up into a table. Take a little cat and cow, just to arch and flex through the spine. We'll move into thread the needle, so just getting a little bit more side action and opening through the back of the shoulder. So coming back to the neutral table, again, gather the belly in, so you're scooping in here, supporting a nice straight spine. Inhale, let's lift that right arm out and up to the side. And then just weave it underneath the body, coming down to rest on that right shoulder tip and right temple. The right fingers stretch off to the left as much as you can reach. And options with the left hand, extend it towards the top of the mat to find, again, a nice long line on the left side body. A little bit more would be walking those fingertips over to the right corner of your mat, which allows the chest to open a little bit further to the left. Or the option to extend the hand to the ceiling and bend and take a half bind. So the hand will come over to the side waist or rest right on the back body. So if you're taking the bind, you've got a nice external rotation in that top shoulder. So use the back of the hand to send that shoulder tip back and open. And at the same time, a nice internal rotation on that right shoulder. So wherever you are, notice where you feel it and take a nice full deep breath. Releasing now. If you're in the bind, we extend the arm to the ceiling and drop the palm right by the face. If your arm's extended up to the top of the mat, just slide it back, put it in push-up position, that left hand, push into the palm, release the right arm, take the counter stretch, take it right back up, and then bring it right back down to your table. Walk the fingers forward, heart melting pose. So again, hips stay back, fingertips forward. Drop again, chest and forehead down towards the mat. Here, a nice stretch in the soft tissue under the arms. It's a deep stretch, and I always say if you need to modify, take one arm at a time. Hips are back, belly's in. There's no sway in the spine. Nice straight spine from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Big inhale in here. And on the exhale, walk it back, tabletop. Thread the needle on the left side. So again, find your neutral table, lifting the left arm out to the side and overhead. Bring it down, weave it underneath the body. Come to rest on the left shoulder and the left temple. As you arrive here, maybe walk the fingertips forward. Nice stretch into the right side body. Again, option to walk it over towards the left side of the mat, and notice how that rotates your chest open. Or if you took the bind on the other side, extending the arm up, bending at the elbow, either bring it to the sideways or rest it on the back body, and use that to press the hand into the body to roll that right shoulder tip down and away. Notice your breath here, nice and fluid. One more inhale. And on the exhale, if you're in the bind, release that, arm re-extends. Right hand comes right beside the face into a push-up. If your arm's extended forward, again, slide that palm down by the face, press into the palm to release that left arm. Find again that nice counter stretch, lifting the left arm up to the sky and bringing it back down to your table. Neutral table here, scooping the belly in, press into your palms and tuck your toes. We're going to lift the knees off of the mat a couple inches. So we gather the belly, nice straight spine. Gaze is straight between your hands. So press into those palms to find some space in your shoulders. Gather the belly in and breathe. Nice and fluid breath. A little bit of shaking is good. You're holding up your body weight here. So deep breath in and a slow breath out. One more full round of breath. Big inhale and slow exhale. And from here, press into your palms. Lift the hips up to the ceiling and then press them back towards the back of your mat as you find your first downward facing dog. So keep the knees bent. It's early. We'll warm them up here. But first, let's work on the upper body. So fingers are spread wide. Press into your palms. Press them towards the top of your mat so that brings your chest closer to your thighs. Notice your head. Are you holding up your head? I always say, look at your navel. You're not going to see it, but it makes you drop the head and it brings some length into the neck. And then one at a time, pedal out your feet. So one heel drops as the other leg bends, warming up through the toes as you come onto the ball of the foot. And then as you sink the heel, it's waking up the calf, waking up the hamstring, using your breath here. Nice. And then we'll find some stillness. So come up high on the balls of the feet first. Press into your hands, and again, press that chest down towards the thighs. Take a full deep breath, bend the knees, look at your thumbs, and take a little walk to the top of your mat. And as you arrive at the top of the mat, you'll find your forward fold. So again, let the arms dangle here. Let the head dangle. Releasing all effort, I like to keep a bend into my knees, rest my belly on my thighs. So I get this nice traction through my spine, shaking out the head, maybe walking the fingers one side and the other as you wag your tail. And then coming back to center. And from your center, press into your feet and bend your knees. And nice and slow, ragdoll your way up. Arms dangle, head dangles as you round your way to stand. As you arrive, head and shoulders last. Shoulders lift up to the ears. Roll them down the spine, squeezing the shoulder blades in. Allow the arms to dangle beside you, palms facing forward. Take a moment here to close down the eyes, to come back to that one thing of gratitude that brings a smile to your face and your heart. And then just feel into your foundation, your connection to this earth, that subtle movement from the balls of the feet to the heels, from the inner arch to the blade edge of the foot, front to back, side to side. A soft but very powerful movement here. And then find that equal distribution of weight through the foundation. Begin to bring that weight in through the legs as you lift the kneecaps, engage the quads. Bring some strength into the glutes and draw the belly in. And from the navel up, how soft can you be? Shoulders down, soft away from the ears. Face muscles soft, jaw is released. The tongue drops from the top of the mouth. And here, maybe with your eyes closed, we'll flow some half sun salutations just to bring breath and movement together in the body. So as you're ready, inhale, lift the arms out to the side and overhead. Find the prayer above the head. Draw the prayer in through heart center as you forward fold. Knees can be bent here. Head drops. Halfway lift, the hands can come to the shins. Tailbone one direction, crown of the head the other. Shoulders again squeeze back on the back body. And then release the breath and fold deeper. Press into the feet and bend the knees. Rise up. Reach out, reach up. Find your prayer. Maybe take a gentle back bend. And then flow right back down, forward fold. Half lift and fold. And lift yourself up, reach out, gather it all into your prayer overhead. Take the little back bend. And two more on your own now. Just flow with breath. As you finish in your own time, prayer Tadasana at the top of the mat. Blinking the eyes open if they're not already open. Moving into a lunge sequence here. So inhale, we'll reach the arms overhead. Take that extension, reach high, and then this time arms out to the side, straight spine as you swan dive forward, come down halfway. From here, let the fingertips come to the mat as you fold. Half lift and fold forward. Plant the hands on blocks or your mat, step the right foot back and drop the knee. So again, front ankle and knee align. Give yourself some space for stability. And as you're ready, bring the hands to the thighs, interlace, press the thigh away from you as you come out, as you level out those hips. And then gently, without collapsing in, bring the hips forward. Nice stretch here into the right hip flexor, but we're not dumping in and we're holding our belly in, spine nice and long. On your inhale, reach the arms overhead, interlace, and press the palms up to the ceiling. Take a full breath, find the full extension, maybe biceps by the ear. Reach up, and on the exhale, we're gonna rotate to the left over that front knee. Just send the torso, rotate to the left. Keep pressing up through your palms. Big breath in. On your exhale, open up the arms, right and left. Open arm twist. Take a full breath, reach through those fingers. And then exhale, plant the right hand down inside the left foot. Lift the left arm up to the sky. Take a half bind here, hand comes behind the back. Use that again to help rotate the chest open. Big breath. Coming back, extend the arm overhead. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Keep the twist. Then circle the arm down by the hip and outside that left foot. Take a little hop, step forward to a fold. Find your lift and your fold. Planting the hands, left side, left foot steps back. Again, give yourself space, drop the knee. Front knee, ankle in alignment. Press up, interlace at the thigh. Press the thigh away, square off the hips, straighten the spine, lift the heart, and then begin to bring the hips forward till you find that nice stretch on the left hip flexor. So pausing here first, belly is in, big breath. Lift the arms up, interlace, other thumb on top, press the palms up towards the ceiling. Find the extension first here. Draw the belly in, and on your exhale, twist over to the right. So torso, make sure your front knee stays straight. We're just turning the torso only. Keep pressing the palms away. Notice your breath here. So keep the rotation, open up the arms, right and left, open arm twist. Take a nice full breath. Then drop the left hand inside the right foot and extend the right arm up, stacking through the shoulders. Tuck the back toes, let's lift the back knee. Finding the bind here, bend the elbow, hand comes behind the back, press the back of the hand into the body and let that spiral your heart open. Easy breath. Releasing the bind, re-extend and stack the shoulders. Then circle the arm down by the hip, down and around, frame that front foot, hop off of that back foot, find your fold, find your half lift, and find your fold. And then press into your feet and bend your knees as much as you need to. Roll your way up, arms out, arms up. Find the prayer. maybe the back bend, enhance the heart. Take a breath, soften the shoulders. Warrior one with eagle arms and humble warrior. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, swan dive, straight spine forward. Halfway lift and release and fold. Head hangs. Plant the hands, blocks or mat. Step the right foot back and place that foot maybe at a 45. So if you're looking at a clock, maybe 2 o'clock. Give yourself some space between the feet. Press into your feet. Use the power of your hips here. Rise up and reach up. So sink the hips down. Rotate the chest forward. Reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. And again, on your exhale, see if there's any more room to sink down in the pelvis. Blade edge of that back foot brings some weight, so you're feeling that foot press down into the mat. You've got the belly in, securing the spine. Take the arms out wide here to a T. And then right arm under left, cross at the elbows, find your eagle. Can also be hands resting on the shoulder tips. Lift those elbows up. And as you take a full deep breath, humble your warrior. So bring the elbows in towards the belly. That shoulder comes into the left knee. The head hangs. So here with your arms in that eagle position, you've got space between the shoulder blades. Take a full deep breath into that spot. And then as you exhale, release the head. Let everything just humble here. 3 breaths. Keep the bend in that front knee. Keep the weight in the back foot. And keep the belly engaged. 1 more full breath. And nice and slow with control, press into your feet, gather that belly, use your core, use your hips. Bring yourself back up, lift your eagle arms to the ceiling, maybe a little bit of a back bend, and then come back to neutral. Open up the arms, let them come down to frame the front foot, and step forward to find your fold. To inhale to your lift, to exhale and fold deeper. Excuse me. Second side, planting the fingertips. Left foot steps back. At about a 45, bring that right foot over so you've got space between the feet. And that back toe is on the clock, maybe pointing till 10 o'clock. So we bend into that front knee. We put weight into that back foot and we press our way up, reaching the arms towards the ceiling. And again, play with some buoyancy. Bring the hips down, bring the arms up, draw in the belly, draw in a full breath, and find your warrior one. Strong pose. The torso is forward. The hips are wherever you can maintain some stability. Take a full breath. Reach the fingertips high, and then take them out to a T. This time, left arm under right, cross at the elbows, find your eagle arms. Lift the elbows higher than the shoulders, and on your exhale, begin to humble this warrior. Keep the bend in the front knee. Elbows come in towards the body, fingers towards the mat, crown of the head down. Release the neck. Again, with this eagle arm position, you're opening up the whole upper body. The shoulder blades separate. Breathe behind the heart. As you exhale, soften where you can soften. Keep that front knee bent nice so that the pelvis stays down. Again, press into the pinky side of that back foot. Take one more full round of breath here. A big inhale, a slow exhale. And then pressing into both feet. Use your core, use your hips. Draw yourself back up, reach the hands up, small arch in the spine. And then release your eagle arms, circle them down, frame the front foot. This time step back, downward facing dog. So fingers spread wide, hips go up, press the hips back. Walk your dog again. Finding some movement. Maybe there's a little more room to drop those heels a little closer to the mat. And on your inhale, lift the right foot. Doesn't have to go high. Just press through that heel, keep the belly engaged. And on your exhale, bend the knee and bring that knee across the body over to the left elbow. Inhale, sends it back, get nice and long. Bend the knee comes towards the nose, core plank. Inhale, get nice and long. And this time, bend the knee comes towards that right elbow, hold there. Then drop the knee by the wrist, drop the shin, slide the left leg back, finding your pigeon pose. So here in pigeon, the back leg is straight. The front shin can be on an angle with the heel towards the groin, or if you're more open, you can slide the shin a little more parallel. What we want to do here is level the hips. So if you feel like you're rolling to one side, grab for that block and just prop it underneath the sit bone. Find your proud pigeon first. So press into the hands, lift the chest, straighten the spine. Now, if this isn't working for you, you can take seated pigeon, or you can take figure 4 pigeon on your back. So there's lots of options here to get the same stretch. Take a full breath. And then maybe come down to your forearms. Softening the upper body. Again, level out those hips. Just beginning to feel a little bit of a stretch in the outer right hip. Softening breath. Gaze is straight down so your neck is in line with the spine. Stay right here, but if you want to up it just a little bit, for the quad stretch, bend into that back knee, bring the heel in. Take that right arm and reach it around for the foot or the ankle, just to draw it in. But see if you can continue to keep the hips squared and the shoulders squared to the top of the mat. And notice your breath. If you have the foot, gently release the foot. One more breath here in pigeon, whether it's seated or on your back. If you're on your back, bring yourself up. If you're seated, you'll be able to flow right into what we're going to do next. Take a full breath. Come up onto your hands. Now we're going to move my coffee cup so I don't spill it. We're going to take that back leg and we're going to just swing it out to the side, to the front of the mat. And then we're going to place that foot on the outside of the right thigh. So the leg swings around. I'm going to change this here. So we were in pigeon. We come up, we come onto that right hip, we swing the leg around, and we plant the foot so that the big toe plants. Hug the knee in, get nice and long. And then when you hug this knee in, take that right arm around it, bring it in towards the chest, send the spine nice and long, and let's take a twist over to the left. So left fingertips come behind you, press into those fingertips, find the length, and draw the belly in, and draw that left thigh in close to the body. And as you settle here, notice perhaps the stretch wrapping from your low back through the piriformis, right into the hip and the hamstring. And draw a full deep breath. Bring the head around to center first, release the twist, and let's take a counter twist. So right hand comes behind you, left hand comes to the side of the mat, and just bow over to the right. Press your way back up, releasing that foot, bring it behind you, plant the hands and make your way back, downward facing dog. So pedal it out just a bit, press those hands, find length in the spine, let those hips go high and back, downward facing dog. And on our left side here, lifting that left leg, pressing through the heel, and at the same time, press through that right heel. Find some activity in the back of that right leg. Then bend into the left knee, draw the knee across the body over towards that right elbow. Inhale, get long, stretch it out. Bend the knee, knee comes towards the nose, core plank. Inhale, sends it long. And finally, left knee, left elbow, pause here. And then drop that knee by the wrist, drop the shin down, lengthen out the back leg, find your proud pigeon. So again, we want level hips. Use that block or your blanket underneath the left hip so that the hips stay level. Press into your palms, lift the chest, find length from the hip point all the way through the upper body. Now, if you're not able or can't today do pigeon like this, again, seated pigeon, if you'll remember, you can adjust your hips to find your seated pigeon, which does the exact same thing, just doesn't have the body weight, right? So in your pigeon, maybe come down onto the forearms. Again, spine is long and going forward, not so much up. We don't want to compress anything into the low back. Taking some nice fluid breaths. And if you did so on the other side and you want to bring in the quad stretch, bend into the right knee, heel comes up. Take that left arm out and around to reach for the ankle or the pant leg, whatever you can hold on to, and draw the foot in towards the glutes. Again, breath is important here. This is a big hip opener for the left side. And if you're in the quad stretch on the right side, you're getting a little 2 for 1 here. So settle the breath down. Keep the gaze straight down, spine straight, right in line, head in line with spine. Find the breath. Release that ankle or foot if you have it. Let that foot fall back to the mat. Plant the palms so that you can lift the torso up. Come over onto that left hip and swing the right leg around and plant the right foot right outside the left thigh. Round through that right big toe and squeeze the right knee into the chest. So finding some length here. And we'll hug that knee in with the left elbow as we take the right fingertips behind us. Press into the fingertips and then rotate, twist over to the right. Spine nice and straight. See if you can relax a little bit through the shoulders. Gaze straight to the side. Take in a full breath. One more inhale. And on your exhale, let's bring the head back to neutral first. Release the twist. Bring both hands over to the left side and take a bow over the legs. And then press your way back up. Release the foot. Bring the feet together, the soles of the feet, the balls of the feet, the heels together. Flare the toes out to the side. So maybe just reach down there and find a little bit of stretch through those toe joints as you send them back towards the top of the feet. Maybe the thumbs come inside the arch of the foot and just gentle pressing with the thumb pad. Just a little massage into all those little nerve endings, right? So we have this nice wide diamond. Unlike cobbler pose where the heels are in, we want to have a lot of space here. So we're going to work into the low back, a nice low back stretch. So right hand underneath the calf to hold on to the shin. Left hand underneath its calf to hold on to the shin. So with the grip on the shins, before you go anywhere, draw the belly in on the inhale and bring the heart forward. Bring the chest forward, nice straight spine. So when you reach that nice straight spine forward, now tuck the chin. Now begin to round through the spine as you bring the crown of the head, the top of the head down into the center of your diamond. So I'm just going to let mine hang because I like the invitation my body gives me to release and go deeper. But if you'd like some support here, your block underneath the forehead is a nice alternative. So wherever you are, tuck the belly in. And on its own, using your breath, let the spine begin to lengthen. The head drops, you find length in the back of the neck. And as you breathe and you release and let go, perhaps the elbows drop deeper, maybe the forearms even begin to rest on the mat. It's not necessary that the head come down, it's not necessary at all. We're using the head and gravity here to deepen the stretch. So from the tailbone, bring your focus now to the low back. Can you take a full in-breath as you draw the belly in? And on the out-breath, can you release and relax the muscles through the low back? Take a full breath again. Draw in the belly. As you breathe into the ribs, notice the middle back here, expanding through the ribs. And as you exhale, again, what can you let go of? Where can you wait for the invitation that the body's ready to go just a little bit deeper? Take a full deep breath in, gather the belly again, nice and tight. And as you exhale, notice the shoulders. Shoulder tips are rounded in. The upper back is rounded, creating all of the space again right behind the heart. Soften into that. Two more rounds of breath. Now to transition out of this pose, because this is a deep stretch into the back, so we move very, very slowly. You're going to feel like you're 102 years old, I think. Undo the right hand and place it in the middle of your diamond. Release the left and do the same. And as slow as you can, begin to walk the hands back towards your hips. So you're still rounded in the spine, but as the torso comes up, we begin to stack through the spine, finding some length into the spinal column. Hands come outside the knees to draw the knees together and just slide the feet in close to you. Wrap your forearms around your shins and just drop your head down. So again, a little bit of length through the neck, but as you hug the knees in and you've got this nice straight spine, take a full breath and gently release. Releasing the hug on the shins, send the left knee out to the side, flex through that foot and draw the toes back. Snuggle the right sole of the foot inside the left thigh, or again, support that right knee if you need the support of the right knee. And if this doesn't feel good, always the option to explore sending the foot behind you, right? So you've got just a different rotation through that knee and through the hip. So find what works. Take the torso right over the left thigh. Nice straight spine, belly's in. Walk the fingertips forward. Heart to toes, not head to knees. Find the extension here. Keep walking the fingers as you keep that belly engaged. You might find a little more room. Then take the full breath when you get to that point where you think you need to round, and pause. And this not only stretches through the back of the leg, but I'd like you to bring some focus to the glutes, to the muscle wrapping around the glute from the low back, which is our piriformis. Take a full breath. Inhale, walking those hands back, restacking the spine. If you've got that block under the leg, just set it aside. Right hand's going to come behind you, plant the hand. Then as you press into the hand, we're going to lift the hips up and circle the arm overhead. So full body stretch. We call this a baby wild thing. So lift the hips, find all of that room in the frontal hip joint. Circle the arm back down as you lower the hip. Take the counter stretch, both hands to the left, and bow down. Switch it around, right leg out, left foot in. Again, support the knee, or take it the opposite way. Bring that heel back by the hip. It tilts the pelvis forward, so that might be a good option for you. Sitting up nice and straight. Fingertips outside the right thigh, turn the torso, face the toes, and as you gather the belly, walk it out. Straight spine. Send the chest forward, the toes pointing back down, back to you. Take a nice breath, gather in the belly, and on the exhale, see if you can come down just a little bit more. As you press that heel down and away, again, you'll notice the energy through the back of the leg. But bring your focus to the glute, the low back, the muscle we call the piriformis that sits on top of the sciatic nerve. So if the piriformis is tight, it presses on that nerve, and it's not a pleasant feeling. One more breath. Again, extend the chest forward, relax. And then on the inhale, walk the hands back, restack the spine. This time, the left hand's going to plant behind you. The right arm's going to swing in front of you and up as you lift the hips. Press down into that right heel, reach through those right fingertips, lift the hips high, get a nice stretch through the back body, but also right into the hip flexors. And then circle yourself back down and around and find the counter stretch. And restack the spine, bring the knees in, plant the feet, Hands now rest right behind the hamstrings or the knee crease. Take a little tuck of the chin around the spine and draw yourself down onto your back body, allowing the knees to come in with you. As you squeeze the knees in, again, feel the spine and feel as the hips round up with you. The tailbone lifts just a bit. Just enjoy again some space into the low back. We'll send the knees right and left. Take the arms inside the knees, reach for the ankles or the blade edge of the foot. Find happy baby here. Lift the soles of the feet to the ceiling and draw the knees down by the side body. Tuck the chin in slightly here. And maybe you rock. Nice little massage for the back body. Maybe one extra stretch to the inner thighs, sending the leg off on the diagonal, leading with that heel and just letting it fall open. No strain in the shoulders or the neck or the face. And draw that one back in and take it to the opposite side. So maybe left leg extends off on a diagonal. The heel leads the way. The toes are pointing right down the shins towards your face. And then just let that leg fall open. Again, keep the hips level. Keep the breath fluid. And return back to your happy baby. And if you did that stretch, maybe you would enjoy both legs. Big, wide V here. Nice stretch for the shoulder joint as well. Nice stretch through the arms, the forearms, the wrists, and the fingers. Multitude of things going on here. Use your breath, soften in. And then draw those straight legs back up so that the toes are over your face or above you anyway. And here, just like our forward fold, flex through those feet like you're standing on the ceiling. And just like you're standing forward fold, belly and thighs meet. And then we'll release that, release the feet, bring them down to the mat, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Pick up that right knee and cross it over the left. Take your arms out to a T, palms down. So before we go anywhere, find the broadness across your chest, reach through those fingers, and just pick up the hips slightly and send them over to the right, maybe an inch, as you drop the knees over to the left. Again, a nice place for support, a block underneath the knees so that there's nothing you have to hold up. There's no wasted energy here. We come into this nice spinal twist through the hips as the hips stack, the shoulders relax. We breathe into the upper rib cage. And again, we allow that exhale to give the body permission to just rest in the pose. Rest and breathe. Always the option too, I always forget to say it, if you always want a little bit more, you can always extend that top leg out to the side, and you can always reach down for that bottom foot with the right hand. So again, that just brings the stretch a little bit deeper into the chest and a little bit deeper into the leg, but you're still getting the nice spinal twist. Just an option. Use your core on your inhale and draw the knees back up, shift the hips back in line. Take a moment, just let the hips level out. And then we'll cross the left leg over the right. Pick up the hips, scoot them just a bit to the left, and drop the knees over to the right. So shoulders soft. If it feels good on your neck, you can always rotate the head to the opposite side or just keep the head in neutral. Support the knees if you need to. So as you scan the body, there's no clenching, there's no effort. Your only job here is to breathe. And if you explored that option on the other side of straightening that top leg out to the side, flexing the foot, and maybe reaching down with the left hand to grab the top of the bottom foot. A little bit deeper stretch, not necessary, but it does feel good. Take a breath. And then drawing everything back up to center. Realign the hips, draw the knees into the chest. Lift your head and shoulder blades off of the mat as you draw your chin or forehead in towards the knees, forming this nice tight little ball. And then release. Send the upper body down to the mat. Send the right leg to the right corner of the mat. Let that foot fall open. The left leg draws to the left corner. Left foot releases and draws open. Arms extend away from the body. Pick up the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades under and just notice what that does to the shoulder tips. Pick up the head. Tuck the chin into the throat a bit so that the neck is not arched too much. Close down the eyes. Come back to that vision of joy. That vision that you brought in at the beginning of practice that brings a smile not only to your face, but a smile to your heart. And enjoy a few moments here of Shavasana. Let the body be heavy. Let the mat and let Mother Earth support you for just the next few moments before you step off the mat into your day. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll look for you on Monday. Namaste.